Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So, I've seen a question that keeps coming up with the nb4 and the Pro. So, a lot of people are asking what's the main difference between the different receivers, mainly the enhanced or standard, or how do you choose how to bind it. So, you've got a bunch of standard receivers, and a few of them are the FGR4, which is the larger one. We've got the FGR4S, which is the tiny one with no external antenna. So for these, I believe there's also the FGR4P as well, which is a smaller one with an antenna. But basically, what these will do, you bind your radio to your receiver, and then you've got a choice of the polling rate of the receiver, what it's going to operate the servos on. So you can set these to analog, digital, or you can set it manually. The difference, what you'll find, is if you've got one of these standard receivers, it'll let you go analog, digital, and then it'll let you go up to like 400 Hertz. The difference when you bind one of the enhanced ones, so FGR4B, 8B and 12B, now, when you bind to one of these, not only do you get the DVB external voltage reader with them, but you can also set the polling rates independent per channel. So what that means is, like in this car, we've got, let's have a look. So I'm running the FGR4B in this, because we've got a really high operating frequency servo, so this will run over 800 Hertz. If we set the FGR4 or 4S or 4P in here, bind to it, we can only go up to 400 Hertz, which you'd have to go into the software on this servo and slow it right down to make it operate as a standard servo. The higher the hertz, the higher or more times per second your transmitter is telling your receiver where to be. So as soon as you make the slightest bit of a movement on the steering, it's going to follow you. It's getting updated many more times per second. But if you've got one of the standard receivers, you can only set the entire receiver to be 300 Hertz, 400 Hertz, 330, which is fine if you're running a standard servo and a standard ESC. But if you've got higher end kit, you're going to want to, on this one, set it to, I think it's the Sanwa, is it SSR? Around 800 and some Hertz. But basically, we've got this servo set in high performance mode. So I've got steering on channel 1, and we've got that set to 800 odd Hertz. But your ESC might not be able to operate at that. So if you've got the standard receiver, you'd have to choose whether to slow the servo down in its own software to match your ESC, or you'd not be able to use that servo with that ESC. Now, the enhanced receivers, because that'll let you set it per channel, you've then got the option of having your steering running as fast as possible, and you can also have your ESC running at whatever hertz or polling rate that's comfortable with. Gives you a lot more choice. You've also got, as I say, the DVB external battery monitoring comes with it. Now, the standard receivers are capable of monitoring either the BEC voltage that comes through them, or all the receivers, you can have the external sensor put in to run it that way and get your external LiPo monitoring. But it's just nice that the enhanced ones all seem to come with it. One of the other features of the enhanced ones is they don't run bind plugs like the rest of them. So you've just got a little tiny button, you just press it and hold it to go into bind. Press it and hold it, turn it on quickly, let go, that's bind mode. Press it and hold it, turn it on and keep it held down, that'll go into update mode. So whereas the standard receivers, you've got to move the bind plug into update mode, you've not got that with the enhanced ones. But I'll quickly take you through a video and show you on the menus of them so you can see where we're going to be looking to set this. So if we go into the menu on the Pro, and it'll be the same on nb4, we go into RX set, you've then got frequency. of your servos. So up on the top you can press it to set them all the same, or you can individually set these. So as you see on this one, we've got it set to 833 Hz SR, and then we've got the throttle just set as digital, which is going to be on this one 380 Hz. Now, I've not really gone into it with the Hobbywing ESC, so I'm not sure if we can up that, but if we can, I'll be doing that in another video. But you can see the Pro and the nb4 will both run 833 Hz servos. They'll also run 1000 Hz servos, which certainly if you're running a Traxxas RC with the stock ESC, I've noticed on them you sometimes have to drop the throttle down to 300 or even 285 just to get it to work, whereas your servo you might be quite happy at 333 or even higher if you've got an high performance servo. So rather than have to lose the performance over every channel, with an enhanced receiver you can set per channel, so you're getting the best performance for each one of your either servo or speed controller that you've got in that vehicle. So let's quickly jump over to nb4 and I'll show you what happens when you've got a standard receiver. Right, so this is the nb4 and we've got it bound to a stock receiver. So if we look under servo frequency on this, you can see you've only got the option of changing everything. You've not got your separate channels. Had we got this bound to an enhanced receiver, we'd have the same menu as on the Pro where you can set it per channel. But for this particular car, it's in the DR10, and all we've got set up on that one at the moment is a stock steering servo and a stock Traxxas ESC. So at the minute, we've just got it set to run as a digital servo. So yeah, while that's fine running like that, it's if we then decide to put 1000 Hz servo in it and a different ESC, it's not going to work. We're going to need the enhanced receiver to get the best out of that kit. So let's wrap this one up. Right, so that is where you find those settings on both the nb4 and Pro, and hopefully that'll give you a little bit more information on what's different between all these receivers. As I say, all the Flysky receivers for the nb4 and Pro are capable of telemetry. I know quite a few people thought that the FGR4S, with it being tiny, couldn't do the iBus connection and everything, but it can. So you can set the iBus connection to run either the 4 extra channel breakout, so you can make it an 8-channel receiver, or you can have the RPM sensors, the temp sensors, external voltage, and I believe it's either 12 or 15 that you can daisy chain up. So you don't lose a socket every time you put another one in, you just connect them all up in a long row. The FGR4, one of the main advantages with this one, especially if you're running 5th scale RCs, or even some of the 8th scale, but this receiver can run up to 12 volt. So you can have either a higher powered battery in a nitro car or a 1/5 scale petrol engine car. So you can run 12 volt electronics and this will cope with it fine. You can also have both the external 4-channel add-on and sensors all into this, because it's got separate ports for everything. So you don't have to change it between a sensor port and an iBus. You can literally have all the lot running all at once on it. So still got its place, the FGR4 original or V2, but yeah, hopefully that clears a few things up for you. But thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family or anybody else that might find it useful, and I'll catch you guys again in the next one.